It's time for the return of my favorite segment. You know what's up? Hey, you know what's up? Assuming a woman is pregnant or trying to get pregnant when she simply declines a drink. Oh my gosh. This happens to me all the time, okay? When I say all the time, I mean all the time. I've been on record multiple times informing the real ones that I do in fact not usually drink. I don't usually do it. I do not. I just don't like it that much. I think water or iced tea or a crispy Coke, they're all better. Let me go even further. Worse than that is commenting to her face in response to her declining a beverage. I may or may not have recently had someone offer me a beverage, and when I said, "Oh, no, thank you," they said, "Are you pregnant?" I'm not joking. Now, to be fair, you picked the right because I can brush it off pretty fast. But let's not do that because we've said it so many times on the show. You never know what someone is going through, what they have gone through previously, what stage they are at in their journey if they are building a family. In other words, they could be trying and you could be bringing something up that's not really good. Or even weirder, think about this. You could be saying it to someone who has actively chosen to not have kids, which is also none of your business. You know what I mean? As always, I'm speaking for myself and my own experiences, but I do think most women would agree. Maybe we just shouldn't do that. Because in the same way that if someone looks like, maybe they could be pregnant, we don't then ask, "Are you pregnant?" Don't do that. We're not smirking at people. Like, just because you didn't ask the question doesn't mean that your smirk or raising your eyebrows is better than that. You're not, but that's equally bad. It's almost worse because now do I address you doing that? And if I do address you doing that, does it seem like I'm being defensive? You're making it weird. And you've put us both in this situation now. And that's not fun for anyone. So this is similar to when Jason and I first got married and people would ask, "Are you trying?" And I would say, "We practice a lot." Now it's weird for both of us. Why do you need to know that? That's between me and my husband. No. What should you do instead, you may ask? Here's a few options, okay? Offer her something else to drink and then move on. Or don't offer her something else to drink and move on. Another option, mind your business. This is one of my favorite options. Again, you picked the right person. I'm actually not super bothered by it. Would I have preferred if you had not looked at my stomach and then looked me back in my own eyeballs? Yeah, I would have preferred that. But at the end of the day, let's go over some scenarios. Some people could have had a loss. Some people could be actively in IVF treatments. Some people could have a diagnosis that could make it physically not possible for them to have kids, even though they would like to. Some people might have addiction to alcohol and be in recovery. Some people might just not like the fucking taste. That's me. I just don't like the taste of it. There are so many reasons. I could keep going. I'm not going to because I feel like you get my point now. If you have something that you have said in response to an inquiry about maybe a pregnancy status and or why you do or don't drink, feel free to drop it in our DMs or in our comments at NGL with Kylie. I'm very curious to know what are some good ones that we can unleash.